Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Live with Shelly James. I am excited to be on with you guys tonight. It is November 1st, and Halloween is done and gone. Sadly, we only got about, I don't know, maybe 20 um, trick-or-treaters. There was some big event going on in town here, so I think maybe they were all doing that. So sadly, but darn it, left a lot of candy for us. Oh, that's too bad. Anyway, so here we are, and I am bounding into Christmas painting with all of you. I've been doing some already in some of my YouTube shorts and things, but we are now formally into the Christmas painting season, if we weren't already. So if you're joining me tonight, give me a quick hello. Let me know you're there. Hello, Rachel. Hi, Teresa, Lois, and Bobby. Hello. Hi, Mary. And we got Joy on Facebook. Hello. Got a couple others on Facebook. If you're out there, say hello. Let me know you're there. Hi, Lee. Hi, Harriet and Lorraine. Hello. Happy November 1st. Yes. All Saints Day. Hello, Margareta and Della. Hi, Barbara and Dee. Okay, so I'm not saying anything, about Thanksgiving not being important, because I absolutely, I decorate my house for fall and it will stay decorated until after Thanksgiving. But from the painting perspective, in the painting world, we paint for the holidays this time of year. And so Thanksgiving's not really a painterly holiday. I mean, there just aren't some pretty turkey paintings out there. I did a cornucopia last month. So if you didn't see that, if you didn't check that out, that turned out pretty well. But we kind of move right into the Christmas season for painters. So this is going to give you early preparation for gifts, for classes, for painting for yourself, or whatever it is that you enjoy to do. So we are going to kick it off tonight with a primitive snowman painting. So that's what our demo is going to be tonight. Hello, Joy and Sue and Cindy. And we got Della. Really love the bucket of flowers class. It's bucket of cheer, but yes, thank you. There weren't any flowers in that painting, but thank you. Hi, Brenda, my sweet Brenda. Which, by the way, Miss Brenda, I meant to tell you when we had our class the other day, and I meant to tell you how pretty you looked, because I noticed you had your makeup all done and your hair all done, and you don't always do that for our private classes. So that was nice, and you looked really pretty. Hi, Joanne. Okay, let's get started. So first thing I want to just remind you guys that Shelly loves to paint every Monday at noon. New classes, free classes on my YouTube channel. And we have a new one series starting this month. And so I'm going to be recording that tomorrow. I haven't done it yet. Usually I have it done so I can show you guys. But it will be for the month of November. It will be greeting cards. So it's a good time if you hand paint your greeting cards. I'm going to share 4 designs with you that I'm excited to do. There's going to be a cardinal, a candle with holly, a snowman, and the big gold bell ornaments on a tree. So not too difficult. And if you want to paint along with me and do your hand painted greeting cards for your special family members, or however you do that, you'll be wanting to watch me every Monday, Eastern time, noon. Those lessons will drop. So make sure you join me for those. And I'm painting on, I thought they were 6x8, but it turns out they were 5x7 cards. So, but you can do them on any size you want. And of course, the patterns will be provided. Patterns are always pinned to the top of the comments on my YouTube channel for each of the classes. So when you bring up YouTube, you can go look at the comments, which are usually down below. If you want to see them, you have to hit the more button usually, and then you'll see the link for the patterns there. So hopefully that helps you find those. I know somebody was asking me about those just the other day and how to find those. So if you're not familiar with it, that's how you do it. Okay, so that's coming up in November. Then I also have my holiday icons going on for my shorts. And the shorts are available every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to be doing, similar sorts of strokes, but a little bit different. I've got an ornament coming up. We've got, what else did I do? Oh, I'm trying to think. I'm looking at them over there and I can't remember. Anyway, they're coming up and oh, no, I didn't write them down. Okay. So, but no, they're coming up. And snowman, there is a snowman in there, of course. I'm trying to remember. I did them last week and now I don't think. Oh, well, it's gone, but you guys will love them. I promise. So when you're watching on YouTube, I want to teach you guys a little something about for those of us that do YouTube videos, etc., have a channel, to help us get in front of more people and grow this community. When the videos first come out, it's really important when you're watching them, if it's the first time you've watched a video, especially, if you enjoy the video, and don't do this if you don't, and I'm fine with that. But if you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure or try to watch it all the way through the first time. A lot of times you guys will say you see it and then you'll leave a comment, say you can't watch it right now, you'll watch it later. It's better if you don't watch it at all, right? And don't tell me that you're going to watch it later. But just watch it. When you're ready to watch it, sit down and watch it in its entirety. Because what happens is if you watch it for just a couple seconds and then you turn it off because you're going to come back and watch it later, that tells YouTube that you didn't like it, that it wasn't worth your time to watch the rest of it. So thumbs up is important, and watching it all the way through from beginning to end is important. Even if you walk away from it, it's fine. Okay, but that really helps me, and I appreciate your time and what you guys do for me to help grow that channel. But it really does help me to get more people, get in front of more people, and grow this community that I'm working hard to grow. All right, with all the free lessons and things. So I would appreciate your help in that. And thank you for all the hearts. You guys are hearting me like crazy. Thank you for that. Those aren't thumbs up, but thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. All right. There was a question over on the Facebook side. What was there? Maybe it was just a comment. Let me see. Hello. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Denise. Hi, Beth. Cynthia Joe. It's okay. Can't remember where I went last week. Oh, because I couldn't remember my own shorts, right? Oh, well. I did like your Christmas tree and really liked it. Not at all a daunting project, which I appreciate as a relative newbie. D. Phillips, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the feedback. That really helps me because I'm trying to do things that aren't complicated so that you guys can feel like you can do them. I really hope you do attempt to paint the things that I'm sharing because I'm spending the time to explain them to you. Now, the shorts I don't explain. It's got music instead. Which I know some people have mentioned that you would prefer talking. So I may start doing that in the future, but right now I'm just doing the music, and then sometimes I'm pulling them all together and chaining them together and doing some explanation. So I did that for quite a few of them a few months ago, and I might do that again for a bunch of them. Hello, Lori Shearsman. Yes, it's been a long time. Thank you for joining. All right. Thank you, Miss Brenda. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, so let's get going. The other thing I want to share with you guys is, so tonight we're doing the snowman. Next week I will be on, we are going to do a Christmas cross. So it's a cross with a wreath and kind of a rustic red background. It's a take on a design from like one of those paint night classes, but I'm going to put our own spin on it. And then the 15th, I will be in Tennessee, so I will not be here to do a live on that. And then the 21st, instead of the 22nd, the 21st, which is a Friday, I will come on because I'm unavailable on November 22nd. And we're going to be doing a big art sale that day, so mark your calendars so you're ready to come on, and because that's going to be a great time for you if you want to buy a painting for a gift for somebody. That would be a good time to do it. And then we'll be on again on the 29th with, it is like a, not a spray, it's like a swag, like a garland, okay? A teal garland. Hi, Pat King, and hello, Donna Lee D'Amico. Thank you for joining. So, all right. Sorry, I'm just reading comments. You like my bucket in the back, but we'll have to see replay. Okay, thank you, Lori. All right, so this is what's coming up for November class. Sorry to jump around, guys. I don't mean to. I'm just trying to keep my head straight here. So I'm only teaching one class in November because of everything else going on in my life in November. So, and then in December, we're going to be doing my annual free class, and I will give you more information about that now. I had somebody email me and say, add me to your free class. I haven't even talked about it yet. I haven't advertised it yet. As soon as I am ready to do that, then we will start taking that list of people. But right now, I don't have a list going. And one thing I wanted to let all of you know, please, if you're on and you can stay on with me tonight, and make sure you comment frequently. You're in the drawing for tonight's giveaways. And so tonight's giveaways are going to be my shorts samples. All right. I've mailed these out to people before and they've really enjoyed them. They're nice little cardstock type paintings of the shorts that I've done over the past, oops, that's the same one, this one, over the past couple of months. So you're going to get a set of 4 of the shorts that I have. And I will make sure that I sign all of them. I usually do when I paint them, right? So there's a fall series that's going out, and then there's the Halloween series, okay? So this happened in September, all right? So those are going to go out to our 2 lucky winners tonight. Okay. How about a sleigh? That's kind of complicated. I can try and do a simple sleigh, but thank you, Curtis. I will take that into advisement for maybe in December. I will do that for one of my demos. Okay. All right. Just checking comments here. We will help watching your YouTube channel. Thumbs up. Thank you. You're speaking for everybody. Brenda's got you all under control. Okay, so the one class that I'm teaching, that's what I started talking about. I'm only teaching one, and it is on November 25th, right? That's the last Tuesday in November. And I understand that's Thanksgiving week for a lot for our North American people. So hopefully you can join me, or if you can't, you can always, as many do, just get the recording, and you'll get that for when you're available to paint after the holiday, and that's perfectly fine. So this is what we are doing. Okay, so I found an AI design on Pinterest, I believe it was, but this is not from a painting, it's from an AI design. But this is Santa and Friend. So they're taking a sweet little stroll in the woods, right? And remember I said that I was going to use those other ovals in that 6-pack that I bought. So if you bought that same 6-pack, this is the 11 by 14 oval. All right. If you didn't, you can get an 11 by 14 oval on Amazon or at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Okay. So this is November 25th. And this is up on my website right now. If you want to sign up there, you can go right ahead under Learn to Paint. It's michellemybelledesigns.com. And then it's under Learn to Paint and then classes. All right. And so this is the one class. It's $30. It's a 2-hour class. And it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get the pattern. All right. It's not hard to do because you don't have to do any faces, any eyes, any hands, anything like that. All right, so pretty simple with this pretty little coat and hair and boots and hat. And then we sparkle snow all over it. And we can do glitter on this. That would be fun. Or metallic would be fun also. But anyway, that's what's coming up. So if you want to go under Michelle My Belle Designs Learn to Paint and classes, you can sign up there. Or if you prefer, you can private message me with your email address. and I will send you an invoice on Square, okay? Or if you want to remark here, all right, that you would like that class, you can say, I want this class, November class, and I will private message you, okay? So we'll get that connected. But either way is fine. Just hope you'll consider taking this class with me in November. It's going to be my only one, and it will be my last one for the year. I'm not sure many of you know, but I usually take December. I'm going to be on in December, my lives and everything, but I will be not teaching from a paid class perspective. I usually take December to focus on the holidays and be with family. We've got family coming to visit, and we're going to see some family, and so it's a very busy month, as all of you, I'm sure, know as well. So we catch each other when we can, and we'll have a good time while we're on together, okay? All right, so Santa and Friend, November 25th. Hope you'll join me. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention to all of you is that I am running a sale right now on my website, 20% off all holiday project packets and videos. All right, so that's for Christmas. So there's a link. I put up a photo in my on my Facebook page, and I put it in my YouTube with a link that takes you to the search results for everything that is currently offered at that 20% discount. All right, so any of those products are available for that 20% off, and you put them in your cart and you go ahead and pay, and the discount is automatically taken. You don't need a code. You don't have to remember to put anything in at checkout. It's automatic when you check out. Okay, and I will, after we're done here, I'll put in the comments that exact same link so you can go and see on my website everything that's available under that sale. Okay, so that's running now through November 8th midnight. So you've got a week for that sale to take advantage of that price. Okay, so I hope you'll consider that. There's over 20, I think there's almost 24 different products out there that qualify for that sale. I'm not as prolific as other painters, so I don't have a ton of stuff built up yet on my website, but I'm getting there. So each year it gets a little bit deeper. Okay. Curtis, does everyone's time go backwards tonight? Oh, yes. So tonight, if you're in the US, our clocks roll back an hour. Thank you, Curtis, for that reminder. Unless you live in Arizona, which I'm jealous. And I think there's one other state now, but I'm not sure. So yeah, we get an extra hour of sleep tonight. Yay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So tonight's demo is a primitive snowman. And so we're going to be doing this guy. He's really cute, and he's got just kind of a dusty look to him, real soft and kind of timely. But we're going to be doing him on, this is an 8x10 oval. So remember I said I got that 6-pack of ovals, and I'm going to use them. So we're going to do him on an 8x10 oval. So let's go ahead and get overhead and get started. Okay, so this is what we're doing, but a little bit smaller. So I've already sketched him out. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of leave this right here. If you want to do this with me, you can take a screenshot of this guy. Here, let's get a better angle. Right, you can do a screenshot of either the finished one here or this sketch on my canvas, and then you can create your own pattern, okay? Or you can sketch him out by hand. It's not tough to do. He's just got a hat, a head, a body, and a scarf, okay? All right, so the colors I'm working with right here. I'm going to set this aside now. For our background and our snowman color, we're using linen and raw umber, which is a matte finish acrylic from Plaid Folk Art, right? This is multi-surface, this is matte finish, but they blend well nicely together, and the matte really takes on properties of the multi-surface when you're mixing it together on the brush, so the finish looks pretty darn close to the same. All right, then we have Wicker White. We're going to add a little bit of that to the snowman, kind of pop him up a little bit over the background. We have Apple Red and Berry Wine for the scarf. We've got Licorice, Thicket, and some pure orange. Got to have that orange for his carrot nose, and the licorice for the buttons and the eyes, etc. Okay, so let's kind of tap those out. And I've got floating medium on here as well. And so questions people have about these ovals. So these I bought as a pack of 6. They look, let me back up just a little bit so you can see this, and that's upside down. I bought them on Amazon. All right, this comes, it's a stretched oval, 16 by 20, and I'll show you on the inside, 8 by 10 and 11 by 14. You get 6 of these, 2 of each size, for $35 plus shipping. Well, it's free shipping if you're on Amazon Prime. All right, but that's what I'm working with. So I did the 16 by 20 size I used for my bucket of cheer class that I did this past month in October. And then the rest of them I plan on using for a variety of projects, including my Santa. And then we've got this little guy here. Okay, so I'm going to get my Donna Dewberry one-stroke painter sponge damp with water from my fingers in my clean brush basin. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and load that sponge with linen. Okay, and we're going to go over the entire canvas. I'm trying to be kind of softer on him because I sketched him on with pencil, which means when you get wet and pencil together, the lead tends to run and streak and stuff. So I want to be really light over so I don't smudge him. All right, and then you're going to go linen over the edges. All the way around. All right, you can do this on any surface that you like, but I like this oval for this guy. Okay. So I smudged his face a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, now, while this is wet and my sponge is wet with that linen on there, I'm going to work in some of this raw umber, okay, and work it together on the plate before, or your palette, whatever you're using, before you come to the canvas. All right, and we're just going to work this in around the outside edges, going all the way around. Okay, just kind of antique and add to that primitive look. And then you can even go over these edges of the canvas itself. Okay. All right. So I think that looks pretty good. Actually, I see some light spots over here, so let's kind of finish that off. Let it come in just a little bit in the open areas here and down here on the bottom. There we go. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and fold that up and put it in my brush basin for cleaning later. Okay, so first thing we want to do is work on our snowman. So I've got a 3/4 inch flat. Get that damp, lay it on paper towel. Let's come down closer now. There we go. And so I want to load this with the linen. And then I'm going to come right over here and side stroke the raw umber and work that into my linen on about 1/3 of the way across the brush. Okay. So with that dark to the right side, you're going to go around the face, right? So you get a little of that shadow around the face. The light edge comes over here. We're going to load some white on that later and lighten that up. Okay. And then down this side of the body, let's get a little more. All right, so under our scarf. Right, and across the bottom. I'm going to get just a little bit of medium in there and work that in just so it moves a little easier for me. And I'm just going to go right over this tail of this scarf because then I don't have any just different colored edges to deal with underneath that red when I put that on. All right, and then get more of the linen. And then let's come over here next to our white. And we're going to side stroke that white. Right, and we'll come down this edge with the white on the left. And then just work it into the middle. So that lightens up the left, third or so of the snowman, as well as put that lighter edge on the right hand side. And we'll go just a little more of that white and we can come around the left side of his face as well. Okay. There. All right, so now I'm going to clean that brush and let's switch to a 12 flat. Okay, so get the 12 flat damp and we're going to come and get all raw umber. And this matte acrylic tends to be a little pastier, a little thicker than our multi-surface, so work a little medium in that, help it move a little bit, and we're going to load that on the whole brush. All right, so now let's come down and we'll work on this hat and face. Okay, so I need the face itself to dry a little bit and then we'll add all the details to that. But we're going to work the hat right now. Okay, right down to the stripe. And then under the stripe. And we want it fairly dark right here and here. All right, then I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to side stroke some white, work that in. All right, and let's turn this way. So with the white up towards the top of the brim, we're going to come right across here. All right, and stand up. We need a little more white than that, so let's work that a little stronger. There we go. Okay. And then that has to kind of dry. We can do some shading with some black. But while this top part is wet, I'm going to take the corner that's lighter right there. Oops. Got a little crazy there, so let's pluck that back out. All right, so that white right there, you're going to take that corner and just kind of lay that in there. And then you're going to come with the white edge over that with the brush and work that in. Flip the brush, do the same thing on the other side and work that in, keeping the dark on the right and kind of softening that so you get that little glare on his hat like that. Okay. All right, now we're going to clean that brush again. Let that hat dry and we'll come do some details to that. But I want to get my red on my scarf so that that can get a couple of layers, okay? So loading with apple red, and then I'm going to add berry wine to half the brush. So you're working the berry wine into the apple red on half the brush. Okay, and we're going to come right through here. Let's get the edges first. All right, and then we'll come across right to the edge of the scarf where it folds over. So right like that. And then let's rotate our canvas again so that we get a better angle, and we'll come right under here from around the back and towards the front. So that puts that scarf around his neck with a little curve. And I need that curve right there. There we go. Okay. And then we continue with this hump to the top. So the red to the top, little hump right there, and a lower one right there. And then we're going to stroke all the way down here. Okay, right to there for the long part. And then let's reverse that. So the dark red's to the inside. All the way down to there. Whoops, sorry. And I'm not one that's real big on primitive art, but I just thought this guy was really cute, and I've always wanted to do one, so I thought it would be fun just to give a little try at it. Okay, so now what we want to do is kind of put in some of those folds and layers. So right through here with the berry wine down, create a little bit of a roll in the scarf, and then down here again, right, a little bit of dark down there. And so on this side you can do that same thing, dark and dark right there. Now I want this to kind of lay out a little more, so let's bring that out. That's better. Give it a little bit of width past the side of the snowman. Okay. Now this has like a plaid to it. I'm going to work that dark in first. Okay. So what I want to do to kind of get that plaid is we're going to come through here and do just a little bit of a stripe right there, and then a little stripe right there. And then in between, we're going to put some linen. So maybe right there and right there, so they're not all lined up. I think on my original, I had 3, but he was taller. So we shorten him up a little bit. We'll make less rolls in his scarf. All right, so coming this way, we'll do some striping. It's very subtle though, okay? So it's not real heavy. You're just kind of laying that dark edge in there. Give it a little bit of a curve so it doesn't look too flat. Okay, right there. And then we'll kind of alternate that on this one. He's got a nice big long scarf for the winter. There we go. All right. So we're going to let that dry, and then we'll add some linen striping to it. Okay. And so while we're letting that dry, we can do the rest of our details. So let's get, first of all, script liner, water, and we'll get some inky raw umber. I really like that we've added this color to our palette of colors. We were kind of sticking strictly to the multi-surface colors, but because we seem to be losing some of those with Plaid's decisions, it's nice to be able to incorporate some of these other matte acrylic colors back in from long days gone by. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of a little stick arm here and give it a bit of a wiggle and come out to a point. Right, and then we'll do another one there, a little wiggle there. Okay, and then I like to streak through a little bit of linen and add some highlight. All right, so it doesn't look flat. Okay, and then on this side we'll do the same. So right up against the edge is coming from behind, a little bit of a wiggle and out to a point. And we'll add a little one there and right in here. Oops, sorry, my hand's in the way. There. And then get our linen. A little highlight. Okay, and that's going to sneak right behind that body. I'm going to put a little more of a white highlight on the side of his body when we're done, just so it shows up, his body shows up in front of that a little bit more. Okay. So if you're joining me late, I think we just had someone join. I'm working on an 8x10 oval canvas. All right, so dotting the handle into the raw umber or dipping into the raw umber, dotting the eyes, make them big, so make a little wider circle. All right, and then let's use our kiss tool. All right, that's shaped like a kiss, candy kiss. And we'll put in the mouth. So dipping into that raw umber. There we go. We'll put a big cold piece right there, and then smaller on either side. And we'll just get gradually smaller as you go up. So my easiest way of doing this kind of a mouth is you're starting in the middle with the biggest one. Then you do 2 small ones on either side at a slight upward curve. Then you do 2 even smaller ones going up that curve, a little bit smaller, right? You do 1 on either side so you're matching, and then a little dot, right? And it's just that simple. Then wipe that off, come get white, and you can do a little, oops, a little highlight. That's a big highlight. Right there, 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 there. And on the eyes, touch with a curve, touch with a curve. Okay. Now I want to get some of this out of here because that's really heavy. There. I must have gotten a dry piece or something. Let's put a little more of that back in there. There we go. Okay, so highlights on that. All right, then we can take the handle again and we can get more of the raw umber. And we're going to come down here and he's got the 3 buttons. So line it up under the middle. Do this one up high. Because we're not doing a stacked 3 layered snowman. So you've got his buttons are going to be lined up here. You need more of that. And make them not perfect, a little bumpy. Okay. Wipe that off. And we can come get the white again and make a little highlight in there. So these are supposed to be like coal or rocks, right? So the highlight is not perfectly round. So little dots and dabs in there will give it a less than perfect surface implication. Then I came and got some licorice, and on the bottom of these just made a little bit darker around the bottom. Okay. All right, clean that off. Now let's get our 6 flat, get that damp, and we'll get our pure orange. Okay, and I'm going to come and side load just a touch of the raw umber with that pure orange. Okay, and let's turn this way. So right here in the middle between the eyes, middle of the face, you're going to make a little round U, and then you're going to stroke with the brown edge down, out, and stand to the point. Pretty simple with that. You can come in later with a script liner if you want to add some more detail to that. All right, cleaning that 6 flat. Now I'm going to come and get linen. Load it with linen and get some medium. Work that in. Okay, and we're going to do these little stripes on our scarf. So you're going to come right through here. Okay, over here. It's thin. That's what the medium is for. So you don't want it heavy linen. All right, and then we're going to go up and over. In between the dark that we put on before, right? So all the way over. Make it kind of move like rounded. I'm sorry, not talking. You want it to move a little bit, make it curved and not perfectly stroked so that it looks like it's on fabric that's got some folds in it. Hope that's making sense. Okay. There. All right, now wipe that brush off again. And then let's get the berry wine first. And down here on the chisel, little short tassel strokes with the dark first. Right there. Wipe off, get the apple red, and do some of those lighter strokes over the top of that. Now, I'm not seeing that dark berry wine under there, so maybe what I need to do is raw umber and berry wine, makes it a little bit darker. There we go. You just need a few dark ones so that the light ones show up, so it doesn't look flat. Whoops, that got big. Okay, so that's the raw umber with some berry wine. And just a few will help the lighter color stand out. And maybe I need a little bit of orange in my red. Make that a little brighter. Not really. I don't want to use white because I don't want it to be pink. Okay, so there you go. I'm just going to touch off the bottom of this with some dark. All right, so let's come back to our 12 and we'll do some shading on our snowman, so then we can finish with, oh, you know what we need to do first? Sorry. We need to come in with berry wine and add, I forgot his little stripe on his hat. There we go. All right, now scarf is dry. Let's come get our 12 floating medium and we will side stroke some berry wine, but I need to make that just a little bit darker. So again, let's get some of this raw umber and work that in with the berry wine. And then we will come, let's turn him this way. We will come right through here and shade under the part that's folded over. We will go in between our rolls here, our layers, both sides, the bottom, shade on this side, between, and the bottom. Okay, and then down between the layers of the scarves. A little more of that berry wine there. There we go, down here. Okay. Nice. All right, now I want to shade my hat. So medium, side stroke some licorice. Okay, just a little bit. And we're going to come along this edge here. There. We're going to go behind the brim on both sides. Okay. And all the way across. There. Okay. Now, wipe that off, more medium. And we'll come over here and let's side stroke some of this raw umber. All right, and we want to come down to the bottom and we'll deepen the shading on the bottom and also on the outside. Right, so you're going to come along this edge, underneath, kind of set him down, right? There. So that gives him something to sit on and strengthens the shading on the back side. Let's continue to go around here. Right. Work that in to this canvas if you're on canvas, okay? And we can come around the hat. Now, as a winter design, you could leave it just like this, right? Or if you want to Christmas him up, you can do the next step, which is we're going to add the holly leaves and the berries. Right, but before I leave my floating medium and shading, let's do some highlighting real quick. So medium on that same brush, and we're going to side stroke some white, wicker white. Right, and we're coming along this brim of the hat like that, just to pop that up just a little bit. The top here, right in the middle. And along the side of his face. Will help him stand out a little better. There we go. And against the branch for his arm, and highlight that left side of his body. And one thing I forgot, let me come back to the raw umber, is underneath these buttons, right? Under the nose, eyes, hat, right? All these places, and you can leave him the way he was, but you do these little extra steps and it just makes a little more difference in how he looks. And along the edge of the scarf. There, now he is looking pretty darn cool. Okay, so let's come to thicket. We're going to load this 12 flat with all thicket, and then we're going to come and side stroke some white. And we're going to add these holly leaves. Okay, so up here, really simple. Just point, 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 point. Reverse, point, 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 back. Out here, point, point, point. Stand up, reverse, point, point, back. Dip the handle into the apple red, dot, dot, dot. Wipe it off. Berry wine. Little extra dot on those two. Okay, get some more of that thicket. Side stroke the white. And we can add a few more just kind of popping out. Now, you could leave it just like that, but I went and did a little extra. So coming out from under the scarf right here, point, point, tip, right? Here, point, point, and you're bringing that white forward as you go. Stand. Pull a stem. Do another one coming out here. Point and roll it in. Right, so it looks like it's coming out from behind. Back up here. Roll it back. And roll it back. And then you can put the stem in that one and there. All right. Now, with that arm right there, it kind of got chopped off. So let's come bring this right back in front. And a little bit of linen on there, and that pops it right back up. So you can do those if you like, or you don't have to. Right, and I want to finish up. I want to just put a little extra bright red here, here, right in there. Pop that scarf up just a little bit. Okay, so we'll come to our script liner and we'll get some inky raw umber. And let's back up. So you could do this in these browns. You can do this in any variation of color with that linen or with white to match whatever decor you happen to have or like. And I think you'll be happy with how he turns out. Primitive or Art Deco or otherwise. Right? So there we go. Our own little primitive snowman. Isn't he cute? He's just too cute. Yes, he would make a very good card idea. He'd look great on just about anything that you might want to do for the holidays. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's come back up here and we'll do our giveaway. There we go. All right, so Lee, you said some stuff and then you took back your comments. I don't know why, but I saw you said you haven't painted the snowman in quite a while, and I think you should. You need to get going on your snowman. But I know you're doing shows, and maybe you're not going to do holiday shows, or you've done mostly fall stuff, but maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed him. If you like these oval canvases, I'm not making any money on. Maybe I should figure out some way to get a break on that one. But I hope you like them. You can go pick those up. Let me just make sure I covered any questions here. Shading polished him up. All right, Brenda, you're hopping back and forth between YouTube and Facebook again. All right, so I think we're ready to do our drawing. So our lucky winners, I know it's a little late because fall is almost over, but we got 2 winners tonight. So on our YouTube channel, we're going to draw for the Halloween ones. These are my shorts paintings, right? So you're going to get all 4 of these. I'm going to mail them to you. So I will need to get your address if I don't already have it. Private message me that. Okay, so that's what the winner needs to do. So on the YouTube side, we will go ahead and roll. And that is Teresa Shipsy. Congratulations, Teresa. So you're going to get all my Halloween short paintings. And I believe I have your address, honey, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay. Congratulations, though. Hope you like them. All right. And then the fall ones are going to go to our Facebook people. So our winner here, 2, 3, and that is D. Phillips. Why do I feel like you just won recently? But that's okay. So D. Phillips. So D, I'm going to need your address, sweetie. So just private message me that off the Facebook Messenger, okay? And I will get those shipped out to all of you guys. Congratulations to both of you. I hope you guys had fun with me tonight. I hope you give this little snowman guy a try. And I hope you also will join me for my one class in November, Santa and Friend, on November 25th. Go check that out on MichelleMybelleDesigns.com. Don't miss out on that sale, 20% off on holiday stuff now through November 8th, midnight, 20% off. All right. And I will be back on again next Saturday. Be watching for those greeting cards lessons dropping on Monday on Shelly Loves to Paint. All right. Thank you, guys.